At the moment, what is trending on social media, for whatever reason, is the story of Arkansas, where you have a village of white people who want to live by themselves.
Minute after they took high from the bottomless pit.
Amongst their own community. And what's interesting is that most African Americans have no problem with it. But it's not only, this problem not only in Arkansas, but the problem is also in England, where the Reform Party voters are promoting an all-white England mass deportation. So the hunger is there, and stirred up by the likes of Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and Nigel Farage.
Won't you hear me sing these songs of freedom?
The three main, forces that are motivating the narrative. The KKK has always been there, but they were dying out. But now the hunger is returning, and the confidence to want to live amongst your own kind is now simmering to the boil.
Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can ease our minds.
What I find interesting is that the contradiction, while on one hand I understand the sentiment that sometimes people do want to live amongst their own kind. I understand the sentiment, but sadly the psychology, the politics, economically, there's a contradiction, because then you then have to face the questions. Do you then get involved in international politics, international trade, where the monopoly is manipulated for one set of people at the expense of other nations?
Gotta fulfill the book. Won't you hear me sing redemption song?
And the Arkansas psychology, the individuals, what's their take on international foreign policy? What's their take on that? To be honest, I don't think it's changed. Neither Nigel Farage nor Elon Musk, their take on international foreign policy is not going to change.
None but ourselves can ease our minds. Oh, have no fear for a
But they want to live amongst their own kind, meaning that it's a contradiction, because at one hand they're demanding this, but on the next they're not going to give you autonomy, liberation, freedom, economically and in every way. So there's a contradiction which needs to be looked at. And secondly, they said that just because this is our desire, another language which is used all over the world, just because I desire this does not make me, what people say that they are. And they're trying to change language. The Reform Party, even though a lot of them were Nazis, sympathizers, say, well, just because I love Adolf Hitler doesn't make me a racist. Just because I do not want any people of color living next door to me doesn't make me a racist. And this is a narrative now that people are using since Elon Musk and now Nigel Farage and Donald Trump has come on the scene. They're starting to boldly change language. They've borrowed from wokeism. They've borrowed from the liberal agenda, the same liberals that these people claim to hate, but they started to look at language and manipulate it. So just because I desire this, does it make me what you think I am?
Won't you, won't you, won't you hear me sing? Won't you, won't you?
And yet you look on social media, you look at what people are throwing, and there's the same people who then in the next breath has no problem saying, well, I want this, but it doesn't mean I'm this. But so I don't eat meat, so it makes me a vegan. But apparently in today's world, things are not so easily defined. Because I can say, well, I don't eat meat, but it doesn't make me a vegan. I don't have milk. I don't have dairy, but it doesn't make me a vegan. It does, but I'm playing games. You know, I'm playing games, but this is the game that they're playing now. Just because I don't eat meat, just because I don't have dairy, just because I don't have any animal products, doesn't mean that I'm not vegan. I'm not a vegan. You know, this is the game they're playing. Of course, you're a vegan. But you don't want to find yourself trapped into the ideology, into that philosophy. And this is what's happened now. Because they know by doing that, then, of course, the discussion then opens up. And they don't want that.
From the hand of the Almighty, we forward in this. We forward.
So these people are saying, oh, I don't want blacks for neighbours. You know, black people are inferior. I love Adolf Hitler, but it doesn't make me a racist. I don't want, you know, blacks as neighbours, but it doesn't make me a racist.
Won't you hear me sing these songs of freedom? It's all I ever had. Redemption songs. Redemption songs. Emancipate yourself.
You know, this is what's happening now. You know, the committing crime against black people doesn't make me a racist. It just means we had choice of difference. It's just anger. You know, so this is a dangerous new world order narrative that's now being played, where people are using language, the same language they claim that the woke are manipulated. When it suits them, they use that same thing. Half of the people in Arkansas were Nazi supporters. One guy came out and admitted he was a Nazi. But it doesn't make me a racist. It doesn't make me hate Jews. I love Adolf Hitler, but it doesn't mean I hate Jews. But what do you think Adolf Hitler was about? And this is what they're doing now. They're trying to hide the path of their philosophy, their ideology. They know full well that they want an all-white neighborhood because they feel like they want their own community. They don't like living amongst people of color, which means you are racist. But they say, oh, no, it doesn't make me that. If you look at some of the ideology of the Reform Party, dangerous. But just because, you know, I hold this opinion doesn't make me a racist. And you look at some of the spews on social media. So Arkansas, yes, they are racist. And if that's what you are, don't be ashamed. Come out with it, because it's a fashion now. You won't be judged for it. Come out with it. Say what you are, because you're not going to be judged. In fact, the government themselves are promoting it to cause conquer and division. So if this is what you are as a person, be proud.
the book. Oh Lord, oh Lord, they shall kill the prophet.